VGK to meet the Dallas Stars Friday night before a 6-day break. We will preview the rematch of last season's playoff matchup after this on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. It is WTF with the Friday. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Check out FanDuel.com. Why? Because it is America's #1 sportsbook. The last time we saw the Dallas Stars at T-Mobile Arena, remember, I was in the house. The Golden Knights were on the brink of elimination in game number 6 of the playoffs. Adin Hill posted a 23-save game there for VGK's 2-0 victory, and that had forced at the time, Chris, a Game 7 in Dallas with the Stars, and they won and advanced in the playoffs. Fast forward to this season, the Stars are back in the thick of things. They are 16-9. They are in third place in the Central, but a bad break for the Dallas Stars this past week. Tyler Seguin was announced on Wednesday that he will be out for 4 to 6 months following hip surgery. General Manager Jim Nill had said this week that it's a wear and tear injury. It's been plaguing Seguin for some time. He was third on the team, 20 points, including 9 goals this season, a plus 14 rating. He's an integral part of this team. How does Dallas now compensate for the loss of him? And so I was looking at the line, and currently now Seguin was out there with Marchment and Duchesne. And so now it'll be Logan Stankoven, who is in just his second year, I think, with the Dallas Stars. So how do they compensate for the loss of Tyler Seguin? That's the question that we'll start off with. I extended it a little bit so you could get that sip in of coffee.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think you look at this with the same situation as Mark Stone going down, right? Mark Stone better than a point per game pace. Tyler Seguin nearly the same boat. Stone scored a little better than Seguin has, but 20 points in 19 games. Stars got depth. You mentioned Stan Coven. You go deeper, there's Sam Steele, there's Colin Blackwell, there's Oscar Back. There's all these different players that maybe don't go to where Sagan's line was, but it starts a shuffle of some sorts. And the Stars will be fine. Plenty of depth. Duchesne leads the team in points, 28 points in 25 games. Mason Marchment's right there, 25 and 24. Stan Coven, you mentioned as well. Good player we're chasing in my hockey breaks as well right now for 24-25 products. And Jason Robertson having a bit of a quiet year. Another recent youngster, and Wyatt Johnston a little quieter as well. I say quiet because they only have 15 points in 25 games. So it'll be fun tonight. Going to be a fun game, and certainly a marquee matchup, as it says on the marquee. And
oh wow, marquee, yeah, that's
we'll
good.
see what Jake Ottinger has in the tank. 13-5-0, 9-1-2, and a 2.42 goals against.
Seguin, by the way, he had arthroscopic surgery on his other hip last season, and that forced him to miss 11 games. So over time, and now it was at the point where he was playing, I think, just home games, or he was down to a limited role with this team. And, now that wear and tear, it finally was at the point where he just could not handle the pain much more. VGK, let's talk about the tremendous play defensively the last 2 games. Is this an aberration, or is that defense coming into form? That's the question.
Well, listen, on paper, this is a defense that has done extremely well in the last, going back a long time. This is a very good defensive core, and you have to think it's a matter of time for them to figure things out. They have figured things out with most of this defensive core, and in lifting a Stanley Cup. So, yeah, I don't think this is something that's going to last much longer as far as having difficulties defensively. Whether Cassidy starts mixing up some defensive pairings or not, we don't know. I mean, obviously they had a shutout the other night, so they're not going to overthink a whole lot. And then Anaheim was just 1 goal against, from what I recall. So there's no trouble in paradise at the moment. Let's see, gave up 1 goal, gave up 0 goals, the 6th goal to Utah, whatever. 4-3 winner over Winnipeg, who can score. Only let Colorado score 2 goals, and that was a shootout goal. That was probably Aiden Hill's best performance we've seen. 5-4 winner in Philly in the shootout.
That was the beginning of this defensive charge, other than that 6-0 blowout loss, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they were playing good defense before that, though. I mean, you see a lot of 2s and 3s on the board. Philly was a shootout, 5-4. That was just a higher scoring game. And, it would be nice if the Golden Knights could score 3 goals and you feel like that's enough. When you feel like that's enough.
Okay,
early in the season, that wasn't enough. Now
Pete DeBoer. Okay, that's what DeBoer used to say. That's why you're.
It's a good way to put it. I mean, Pete DeBoer wasn't right on a lot of things. That was one of them.
Who was the 7th defenseman who was just like skating by himself in the playoffs? For
Nils Lundqvist, right? Nils Lundqvist.
That was great.
He would play like 2 or 3 shifts in the first period, maybe 1 shift in the second, and he'd be basically sitting next to the trainer checking his Facebook after that.
It was so funny, man. Yes. Can we please get another Evgeny Dodonov tribute video tonight? That'd be awfully nice. Do it again. Run it back.
What's he on his 4th team since leaving Vegas?
Yeah.
Third? I don't know.
When you look at Dallas, though, I mean, they do have still, even minus Tyler Seguin, the firepower with Robertson and Hintz. Wyatt Johnson is coming on, so he's starting to play much better. Say the folks there in Dallas.
Jamie Benn is still there.
Jamie Benn, your guy. And then Jake Ottinger in net tonight.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if you were done or not there. This is, again.
You had the coffee. I thought you had coffee going.
No, you're good. Again, marquee matchup. I mean, this game should live up to the hype. We'll give our locks and predictions in a few minutes here, but right now, VGK, again, is going to be a slight dog. Right now, locally, I got minus 119 on Dallas and minus 101 on Vegas. So this is the Yola Sportsbooks win no matter what happens scenario if they can balance out the action, if both sides are going to be a minus. Curious to see where the money does come in on this game. I'm sure there will be. This will be one of the higher pools tonight, so I would think there will be some variance in that. But I think Dallas should be favored tonight. I don't see a reason as why they shouldn't. 6.40 points percentage, I believe, is what I just saw as I'm dragging this out a little bit. Dallas Stars 3rd in a tightly packed Central all of a sudden. Minnesota, Winnipeg, and then Dallas in 3rd. Colorado and St. Louis both 4 points behind them. But a 6.40 points percentage, 16-9-0, 10-2 at home, 6-7 on the road. So maybe that tells something. VGK 10-3 at home, and also a 7-4-3 on the road. So a lot of interesting numbers heading into it.
The big question is: Mark Stone going to play in this game tonight? And I asked that it's a pretty interesting situation now because VGK, he could play the one game. Hear me out. He could play the one game, Colic, and then he can have 6 days off to recover. So he could go and get, the spleen recovery and all that. What is this injury anyway? What do we know? Do we know?
Just lower body is all they've said, and
lower body. He just comes back in time for the 4 Nations. I was going to call it the 4 Seasons. Yeah.
Locally, a lot of Vegas fans chirping Dallas about Tyler Seguin, 4 to 6 month injury, playoff start in about 5 months. So, do the math right there.
He had serious hip surgery.
Oh no, he did. And I was talking to a friend of mine who definitely confirmed that. But the recovery is what we're talking about, not the injury.
Doctor? Was he the doctor?
He was not the doctor. He's just a friend of mine who's a big Dallas Stars fan. There are reports that Mark Stone is trying to play this game tonight. Vegas did this with Shea Theodore a couple seasons ago, where Theodore had missed a lot of time. He played the final game before the All-Star break, and then he got through it fine, and then obviously had a week off, or not a week off, a little bit less than that for the All-Star break, like 5 days, whatever it is, and then back he came for regular duty after that. So, I mean, the doctors are going to make the right recommendation, and I don't think they'll let Mark out there if the injury is still, if there's anything that could possibly happen. Stone's going to push to be out there because he doesn't want the week off. And WTF tea are we going to talk about for the next week after this, Tony? It's like the off season coming up. We got to do this twice. We're going to have to do this twice in the season.
Well, yeah, we'll have Frankie Valley and the Four Nations. That's coming up, of course. And then, of course, this is an odd break, though. Do we know why? Do we know why there's a 6-game
right
break?
now? Every team gets one of these breaks throughout the regular season. It's like a bye week.
Like anything like this, though. Yeah,
it's always like this. Always 5-6 nights.
Couldn't they just rig this and play a home and home with San Jose like during this period?
San Jose's been playing okay, but then they got blown out Utah VGK style last night, I believe.
Okay, coming up next, our locks and predictions for Friday night's VGK versus Dallas game. We'll get to everything when we return right here in this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tackle the NFL action all season long with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. It is getting kind of late in this NFL season right now. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app, it gives you everything that you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. I do need to, at this point, shout out the alma mater in action tonight. I cannot believe this, that UNLV is playing for the Mountain West Conference Championship. And on that game, you could find everything at FanDuel for entertainment purposes only. And, of course, we've got UNLV, a 4-point road dog in Boise tonight. This is absolutely beyond belief. In 45 years of covering this football team, I never thought that they would be in a situation to be in a college football playoff. If you get a hunch, folks, in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com. Come and join today. You'll get started on $150 in bonus bets, and that is if you win your first $5 bet. Again, that's FanDuel.com. Make sure you check out all of the NFL lines. Of course, the Raiders in action, back in action at Tampa. And, of course, you do not want to miss an opportunity to bet for or against that team. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel. It's an official sportsbook partner of the National Football League. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. What's your shirt say? Sick what? Sick dog? Sick son?
It's a sports card community on Facebook.
Oh, sick. Okay. That's sick, bro. That is really sick.
That's the thing is, whenever someone says they got a really nice card, they send a picture to someone and they say, sick hit, bro. So these guys were smart and monetized it.
Okay. Very smart. Exactly. Sick hit, bro. I'm going to start using that on this show. And then on Saturdays, you could use it as well on the Chris and Chris Jr. show sometimes. That is the YouTube exclusive.
I'd rather you shoot my business, Silver State Sports and Cards, instead. I'd rather you plug that.
I see that. It's a metallic sticker. Yeah.
It is a nice sticker anymore.
So this is definitely a rigged schedule. All of the Cowboys and Cowgirls are here to see their Dallas Stars. So, but the rodeo starts at 7. So
I wish they'd buy my tickets for it tonight. Then they're cheap.
Yeah. The National Finals Rodeo is here in Vegas, and a yeehaw for all the Cowboys and Cowgirls and the Dallas Snow Stars. Oh, it's locks and prediction time. That's what it is. I am going to go with 3-2 Dallas. And the reason being is that VGK this week, they had too much practice time. They practiced too much. So I'm going to go.
Is that a bingo card too, then?
I'm going to go, get this, I'm going to go with Eichel and then the entry of Stone or Howden. So if Stone's in the lineup, I just have a really strange feeling. Why not play him? Why not play him? He has 6 days to recover. He has 6 more days to be on LTIR, bro. Sick, bro.
He hasn't been on LTIR. He's been on IR. I don't know if he's been activated. I honestly haven't been paying attention, but it doesn't matter.
I'm going with Dallas 3-2 final tonight. You?
Again, VGK. I said I was sticking with the narrative the entire season as far as
too much practice.
As far as predictions and too much practice. As far as VGK struggling with teams greater than a 600 points percentage.
Oh, we got roasted on that yesterday. Okay, we'll get to that.
We did? We got roasted on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever. Say that for the third segment. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the third segment, bro.
So 4-2 Dallas Stars.
Dallas.
Eichel and Howden. That's what I wrote down before you said yours.
No way. Seriously. I know, and I believe you. It's so crazy how we're so aligned some days. But
Howden's been a little quiet lately, and by quiet, I mean, geez, it's weird that we're talking about Howden going a few games, not scoring a goal, and we're saying that's quiet. It's
he's got the bag.
It's a sick new world. It's a brave new world out there.
But he's secured the bag already, bro.
Oh, I don't think, not really. He secured it. He secured an income stream. I don't know if it's necessarily a bag.
Good call. He surely did. Coming up next on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, we're going to have all sorts of time to hammer a lot of these today.
Way too much time.
Well, he gave us a long period of time here, so you could drink your coffee, take the 6 days off.
You get a refill my coffee?
Coming up next, it's WTF. It's What the Friday. Stay with us on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back on Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. We appreciate you tuning in. Chris, that was absolutely the shortest segment in the history of our show.
And we'll still go over by 6 minutes by the time we're done with this.
Yeah, this one will be probably an hour and a half. And again, we just want to make sure that we're on time today. It is What the Friday time. Saturday's the Chris and Chris Jr. show. Before WTF, there was a really good tweet that came your way yesterday about, an everydayer showing us the rundown of all of the shows that this woman that she watches or listens to. True crime, Locked On Golden Knights, Murder for Hire, like all these murder shows, which I'm very appreciative. When I saw that list, I'm like, oh, this is the perfect storm, bro. Absolutely. So we'll dig up her name by the end of our show. We need to do that.
I'll get it right now.
Okay.
Keep yapping for a second.
WTF. Oh, we've got plenty.
Here we go. Christina Walters. Thank you, Christina.
Thanks,
that was very
Christina.
kind of you. And to be fair, she only tagged me, didn't tag you, Tony. And then you.
That was very unkind of you to leave me out of the equation. But Chris is the star of the show. Why? Because he's sick. The Golden Knights haven't scored a power play goal since early November. Tomas Hertl against Utah. And since that time, very Peter DeBoer-ish, I think they're 0 for 21, if my math is correct.
I thought I saw 1 for 8 somewhere recently, Tony. Are you locked in on that?
I'm locked on. So try to figure this out. In any event, it's not doing as well. They're struggling at everything.
You said Philadelphia, November 25th, power play goal. That's the last one. You're right.
Oh, I missed that one. Okay, so it's
That's the last one.
1 for 21, I think then. That's not the Hertl goal. I'm making stuff up here. Okay, but yet, VGK, so they're 1 for 21 then. Something in that vicinity. VGK nonetheless connecting at a 26% clip on 17 of 64. And this is so Pete DeBoer-like. Remember VGK would have these awful droughts when DeBoer was here? It eventually got him fired. WTF, what is up with the VGK power play, which was exceptional? And they nominated it even for the Four Nations face-off, the power play.
VGK went 5 games in a row scoring a power play goal. Then after that, the drought was 1 for 18. So there
1 for 18 and not 0 for 21.
It would have been it was 3 for 21. It would have been 3 for 21 or 1 for 18.
All right, 1 for 18. Okay.
Yeah, so 1 for 18. That sounds better. That sounds better.
Is that considered a drought? No.
Oh, 1 for 18. That's what is that? 3 per
but how are they still
7 per 6%, 7%?
I mean, they were crushing it early. And now they're still at 26%, which is pretty good.
And I'm sure they're still probably top 7 in the league in it. So listen, this happens. It's ups and downs, or it's the middle third of the season creeping in. Who knows?
That intern, man. I'm firing this intern. Give me the wrong numbers.
It happens. It's good. T.A. Neiman, nice WTF. What kind of pixie magic does Ovi have that he's got a broken leg and he's out there in just 17 or 18 days? It's probably still going to be close to a month before he gets on the ice, but still, it's really good to see Ovi out there. I joked and said he's going to break their scoring record in February still, the way he's been going. Let's see here. All right, VGK. This is interesting. advanced stats are important to people. I don't follow them as much, but they are important. There's analytics. Coach Cassidy talks about analytics all the time and things like that. So we talked on yesterday's show, is VGK a Stanley Cup contender? I think we both said no, but I've moved the ladder from cautious optimism to optimism. I'm going up. I'm feeling better the more VGK continues to win. But again, let's see it happen against good teams. So Money Puck is a really good source for how things are going, and they have their power rankings and everything. Right now, Dallas Stars are the number one team in the National Hockey League, according to Money Puck, with all their advanced analytics. You have to scroll down below Edmonton, below Boston, who's on a new coach, below the Avalanche, below the Kraken, below the Utah Hockey Club, below the Los Angeles Kings. You have to scroll down to spot number 14 to find the Vegas Golden Knights. So Money Puck agrees, based on all their analytics, that VGK isn't there yet. So VGK is playing better. They're beating the teams they need to beat. And now, like I said, I'm saying that they're only playing who's on the schedule. That's all the crap I was getting from the fans. I'm with you on that. But big games coming up. Dallas, and then there's a long break, obviously. But going after that, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Minnesota, home game against Vancouver and Seattle. And I believe every one of those teams, except Vancouver, maybe, every one of those teams is above VGK besides Vancouver as far as Money Puck is concerned. So important stretch. And let's see if VGK can start beating some good teams now, because then I will feel a heck of a lot better about this team possibly being a Stanley Cup contender. So there's my first WTF.
Oh, wait. But we've got one that just kind of chimes in here with that from our good buddy Lou Dog 777.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. This is good, Lou. This is Lou. I like this one. Go ahead, Tony.
For years, all we hear on the show is that VGK doesn't take care of lesser opponents. This year, they are. And now Chris and Tony complain that they are only beating lesser opponents. WTF.
It's fair. I mean, it's fair. I'll give you that punch, Lou, and that's good that you pay attention to that. In the same breath, yeah, that is the narrative in this season.
All we do, they put us like as the two Muppets. That like the show's become.
That was pretty good. That was another good one. We had some. The WTF power rankings for Friday, December 6th are pretty up there. If we were to rank the highest WTF trips we get, this might be the best week.
This is amongst them. Go ahead with your second.
So no, you're good. Four nations. You're gonna have a 2 week.
I was teeing it up. I was just waiting.
Okay, you're gonna have a 2 week break, and listen, VGK is gonna have injuries. Hopefully, nothing happens between now and then, but going to have 7 players in the 4 nations. So VGK fans will be interested. Florida's got 8 teams, I believe, and a lot of teams have 4 or 5 players. There's a lot of teams that have maybe 1, maybe 2 players. I don't know if anyone bageled as far as the 4 nations, but most of the teams have 1 or 2 players. But coming in December, this is when it's all getting exciting, or February, pardon me, when it's all getting exciting, and then boom, pull the plug, no hockey for 2 weeks. It's going to take the players who aren't in the 4 nations time to get their game back. It's going to take the players who did play in the 4 nations time to, heal up and get that and, rest up a little bit. So you're going to have a perfect storm. 1, fans losing interest. 2, it's going to be like the start of the season again with some bad hockey. So it's a very strange decision. I'm fine with Olympic play. That means something. I am not fine with exhibition hockey taking over 2 weeks of the NHL schedule. And as someone who does invest in season tickets in this team, I don't want to see them wearing another jersey during that time. I want to see them wearing VGK jerseys. That's it. End of story. So WTF right there. Hopefully all the players participating, not just the VGK players. Hopefully everyone comes back healthy. It doesn't lead to any long-term problems. But God forbid if 2 or 3 players, I'll just get a bit morbid, slice an ACL or something.
Oh, jeez. No,
that'd be terrible. We don't want that happening. I don't care if it's VGK or Dallas or anyone. We don't want that happening.
Yeah. It's going to be a long road to recovery for some of those players, though, playing that extra action, and they're going to go hard. That's it. But Noah Hannafin still not deserving of making Team USA. WTF was that all about? Ricardo Montalban, the guy from Fantasy Island, the goaltender, he doesn't deserve to be there. That guy. And then, of course,
there's like 3 guys that deserved it over him, but they're trying to groom him. I think it's garbage.
Yeah. LT, that's kind of sad.
Well, it's
that
not
he's
just LT, it's Cam Talbot. There's probably 3 other goalies that on paper I think were better, but they're saying they're grooming this kid. Like, what are they grooming? Get out of here.
All right.
The NHL is grooming.
WTF, where is Tomas Hertl going to fit in the VGK lineup? Cassidy now moving Hertl around. Where will he stick? WTF. And again, I didn't feel like he would have a great season. Some of you thought, oh, he's back. He's okay. There's something, he's a step slow. He's a step slow.
It's VGK is a fast team. Their top 3 lines are fast, and even their 4th line, when it's Nick Waugh, Keegan Colasar, and Pearson, that's a fast line too. It's got a little more grit to it, but it definitely. Let's see. I'm looking at his game log right now, really fast here. Let's see how Hertl's looking. Game log, and boom, here we are. So let's look at Hertl for a second. Of course, the last game was a 2-assist game. So, but before the 2-assist game, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. He goes 4 games without putting 8 points on the board. Okay. And then now we go back to where VGK was doing well on the power play, and all of a sudden he's got some points right there. So,
right.
This is it's interesting. Chandler Stevenson had a role in this, and again, I'm not saying Stevenson or Hertl, which player is better. I'm not. I'm saying what situation was better. Stevenson had a role, and it worked in that second line. That second line was a big part of a Stanley Cup. Obviously, Brett Howden and Mark Stone helped that second line, but point being is Stevenson had a defined role, and the center position has been okay. The wing position hasn't been that good. The power play has been great for Hertl. So how is that going to shake out? I don't know. WTF. I'll back Tony up on that one. And I'll just fire up the hip here. I put a tweet out on
the hip. Oh, don't say that, Tyler Seguin.
I'm sorry. That was not a shot at Seguin by any means.
Okay.
But no, Tuesday, I put the tweet out at the game about VGK and where's all the fans and things like that. And just everyone, here they come. There was fans in the arena. No, there weren't fans. People in the media were pointing it out. Other fans were pointing it out. I put a picture or a video out there 5 minutes into the game. I never put a video out there if I'm going to do this like 30 seconds after the game starts or before warmups. No, that doesn't matter. 5 minutes into the game, that's a good barometer, right? It's about 7:20, 7:25. People said, oh, there was an accident on the 215 that slowed things up. No, the arena didn't fill in much at all after that. So, and then there's just a laundry list of excuses. I don't understand. It's December. Okay, well, December comes every year. People came in December in the first 5 or 6 seasons. Why are they not coming now? And the fact, again, this is something that does concern me. VGK is winning and doing well right now, and people didn't show. What if VGK wasn't winning this season? And what if that game was against the Buffalo Sabres? It would have been a very different sight right now. So I do think this is something that's going to be on VGK's radar. And as someone, again, that does have an investments, I mean, probably close to 6 figures of investments in the last 8 years of this team, it does bother me a little bit. And I do have a right to point that out and talk about it. And am I dragging the team for it? Not really. Am I making an observation as a fan that this team is doing well, and yet there seems to be some under the table lingering things? I know VGK can't control resale. I know that. So if I sell my tickets and they don't sell, the team can't control that. But what they can control is people's desire to go to the game and buy those tickets.
I'm going to ask the question, WTF, is this the residual effect of a lot of the fan favorites leaving this club?
It's a partial effect. I'm not going to sit here and drag the front office for that.
I'm not dragging anyone. I'm just asking a logical question.
There was another media member that was Chris Mathis, who was asking a lot of questions in the post, and he had some really good perspectives about players and their ties to the community. I want to make sure I walk this a bit carefully here.
Just be honest about it. That's the way we roll here.
No, 100%. But you do see like the hockey cams happening and players showing up, and of course they're putting chance anywhere they can for that photo op and everything, working them to death. But another story for another time. But maybe you do need a little more of a grassroots campaign. Maybe you do need to see a little more of the players out in the community. And I thought Chris made some really good observations about that. And yes, the fan favorites, Marchessault, yes. Now people are dragging him because he's not playing well down there, up there, over there in Nashville. But again, he's still a fan favorite, and that helped keep butts in the seats. People are still learning about Pavel Dorofeev, who, by the way, still doesn't do post-game interviews or anything like that. He did one pregame interview with Dan Duva that I thought was awesome. There's a chance right there.
Does he think that he's a coach, an assistant coach?
It's a language barrier. It's his personal comfort zone.
No,
I've heard that. I've asked that question before.
I did hear that. He was good.
It was really good pregame. I thought it was like, I didn't know who they were talking. I was driving home, and I think it was an early game or something. I was driving from across town, and I'm like, who is this? I didn't know who it was. I never heard the voice before.
It's different, right? Exactly.
It was the wizard behind the curtain. So getting to know these players, getting that emotional connection is important, and maybe that's why. And I guess the last thing, this is always something that I go on for a long time about. Henderson matters, and the fact that Henderson can't draw more unless they're doing the teddy bear toss this weekend, which will be a lot of fun. And they do have a nice promotion on Sunday. First 1,500 kids get a lucky jersey, which I thought is nice. I think they can go on the ice after the game and everything. So at least this is some real creative stuff starting to happen, the gravy boat. So let's give them credit. But when they're not giving away a gravy boat, when they're not giving away a lucky jersey, it all comes down to giveaways are fun, but it all comes down to the in-game experience. Take a note from the Chicago Wolves, please. Take a note from the Chicago Wolves, who I believe are always in the top 3 or 5 in attendance in the American League. Yes, Chicago is a bigger market, but there's a lot of competition for the entertainment dollar in Chicago, as there is here in Vegas. A lot more teams, a lot more major and minor teams around Chicago, and give people a reason to go to a Silver Knights game, not just because they're doing a ding-dang gravy boat or a lucky jersey. Give the kids a reason to want to come back to a Silver Knights game. WTF.
What got me tossed from this organization early on was me saying that they weren't marketing the team there in 2017. That's the truth of the matter, right? They have not had to do a full marketing campaign around VGK. If you think about it, like, they have not had to do it. It's come to them very easily here in this market. And so I think they've got some challenges right now, WTF. And that's not being negative or anything else. I'm just being honest and upfront. We've got.
There better be a good crowd tonight against Dallas. I'm not going. We're going to the parade. We're gonna have a family night in Henderson, but better be a nice crowd there tonight.
Is this the Santa Claus parade on Water Street? Where are we going? Where's
Water Street electrical parade?
Okay, so and then tonight, shout out our good friends at the Desert Dogs, the lacrosse team. They will have their first game ever at Lee's Family Forum tonight, 7:30. Get your tickets.
Chris doesn't like the mascot.
I hope he likes our Vegas Thrill mascot. I cannot tell you what it is, but we're gonna.
We'll talk offline.
I let the cat out of the bag. I can't tell you either offline. Okay, so Mr. Mick, I know that they've played.
Are you going to be inside the mascot? Oh, this is going to be great.
On the DL. Yeah.
The mascot's going to be like 4'7".
Oh, thanks. Okay. I know that they've played a lot recently, but a week off after this game, this time of year, WTF, Mr. Mack asks, is that all about? And you say they just need some time off so they can practice more in 6 days, maybe. No, I think here's what actually happened.
Watch out for early September, Tony. Watch out for early September.
The team was on the road for so long that the honey-do lists from the Wagoos, it's so long right now that they have to finish a lot of the things before the end of the year. They have to clean up the books, so to speak. Darth Tommy 774, Hulu, ESPN has the biggest poser play-by-play. Dorofeev is not Dorof. Do some homework.
ESPN never gets Dorofeev right. Never.
It's so well. It starts with the coach here. No,
it is Cassidy. To be fair, yeah.
Dorofeev. Yeah, Cassidy doesn't care. He doesn't have to parade the guy out for interviews. Our good friend Clyde Matt, not math. My math was way off. They're not 0 for 21. They're 1 for 87.
WTF about that?
WTF. I watched Locked On Oilers yesterday. It was titled McEichel. That's a good one. McEichel. WTF.
People call us Locked On Oilers. and locked on Logan Thompson.
That's true. That's true. WTF from E-Runs. My WTF equals what the food, because it's a beefs and pizza weekend. Who is with me?
Windy City Beefs and Pizza? Henderson?
I don't know. Is that what he's
Plug
talking
for
about?
my friends down there.
You're going to have to go see him. Yeah. Is that near Water Street for the parade?
No, it's not near one. No,
Smash some beers
unfortunately, no.
tonight? No.
No, we're gonna go to Mackenzie River, but we joked we're gonna put our order in last night, so hopefully we get it on time. Because Mackenzie River, the food is fair, the pricing is fair, but the time to get it, you could celebrate a birthday before it comes, and the restaurant could be empty.
Okay, so I did want to talk about Mick Eichel. So 30 assists, second fewest games to 30 assists for an American, second fewest behind nice. Blake Wheeler. It took him 27 games in 2018-19. I mean, it's taken Eichel 27 games, and in 2018-19, Blake Wheeler did it in 26 games. That is the way that Mr. Eichel is charting. But how many assists did he have by American Thanksgiving? That's the bigger question. Who's trending there? We appreciate everyone tuning in.
Still go over by 6 minutes.
I know. Isn't that great? We have the shortest segment and the longest segment in Locked On history.
We're like Noah Hannafin. We average out to where it should be.
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. Thank you so much around the globe, tuning in every day. You folks are just unbelievably great, for real. And, of course, Saturdays, it is the Chris times Chris Jr. show. Are you firing up one tomorrow? Do it from Water Street with a few beers in or something. Do it.
Don't ask me. I'm at Water Street. Don't ask me nothing.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm doing that. I'm doing that tonight.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Go UNLV Rebels.
Yes,
the alma mater.
Nice.
The alma mater. Nice. Let's do this. This is incredible. This is so surreal. Could you imagine UNLV making it to the college football playoff? A win tonight, and they are in.
It's awesome.
So root for the Rebels, the hometown. For my man, Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco. We'll see you again on Monday right here on Locked On Golden Knights. And please, folks, take care.